Thanks again for your time. Now, the Electoral Commission is today, Friday, continuing with the limited registration exercise to enable those eligible voters who are unable to register in the just-ended registration exercise to do so. As you know, the exercise, which began Thursday, is continuing today because scores of people have still not been registered by electoral officers as at close of work Thursday. In the northern region, our correspondent Martina Bugri reported there was a long queue and registration equipment weren't enough. Let's go back to Martina now for an update on the situation. Martina, what is happening where you are? Martina, if you can hear me, I'm asking, where are you now and what's happening? Give us the latest on the registration exercise.
I'm outside the Tamale Metro office a while ago. I left there like 12:30. As at yesterday, those who registered, 229 people registered, remaining 300. And the 300 were given chits to come this morning and have their names registered. And so they came this morning at 12:30, 140 people who had registered. Now, those who were given the chits raised concerns. They said that they were asked to come this morning, but when they came, they easily refused to go with the numbers they had given them for the registration. And so I spoke to the Metro EC director, Bismarck, and he says that the chit was just to tell you that you were here yesterday and didn't get to register, and so you are allowed to register. But they can't go by the numbers that were given because somebody might probably be one and come in late, and somebody who was 2 or 3 comes early. Doesn't mean that they should wait for the person who is not there. And so that's the explanation he gave me for they not going strictly according to the numbers that they gave yesterday. And so the exercise is going on smoothly as at the time I left there.
All right, many thanks. Martina Bugri is our northern regional correspondent with that update there. Let's turn our attention to the Bono East region. Anas Sabit is our correspondent on the ground. Anas, so what's happening in your region?
The situation is same here. Currently at the EC office here in Techiman, at the Techiman South constituency. And yesterday, by the close of business yesterday, 215 people successfully went through the exercise and were issued their voter ID cards, with about 157 people unable to register, but they were in the queue yesterday, so they were given chits, and they are back today in the process to also acquire their voter ID cards. As at now, over 70 of these people who were given chits yesterday have been issued their voter ID cards, with a little or close to 100 yet to be issued the ID cards. I also met a number of people who told me yesterday they didn't hear about the information early, so they came in today to register, but the EC is denying them the access to do so. They've asked them to wait a bit so that when they have any approval from above, they will then grant them the opportunity to also register. I've been engaging some of these people, and we might take a listen to some of them who are pleading to authorities to grant them access to the exercise today.
Never be a flavor, no be an idea. Tiano Pine, I'm a simple person by a buyout, my single more numbers. Number so much more Tia catching the yard on bits my shade. Now it's almost encouraged. More than uncle, more and uncle, when you're still. And TBB and Timmy Chamber 20 minutes to be Mamusha. I am offer. As a more yana. Nani date so here na kai 11 days to omo copy date no omo say the time so here kire so ti on so na otu kwan kwakra tinra na your friend say omo say be here na to so be do na ade asa tinna no pe na de no ba say ba be aya man so ba ya omo say omo ya yi na me so me je kire kwan na no mo ya na wanti an ba cho menti ya no pana na me banga say so na ti am ma me ba ha
6 o'clock.
I didn't know my culture.
Almost a fountain now, and no more yet, and no more yet, to a moya, and no another bacona by mamma. To a moya, and a dear, ya, by children, dear. Omun this or moon penny. Omun penny for us, or more betty as they are no more dear, and they are now.
All right, now let's turn our attention to the Oti region. Correspondent Peter Seno is in the KJB district. Peter, what can you report?
Right, Araba, I'm standing right here at the EC office, the district office here in the Akan constituency for the KJB district, where 77 persons were registered as of yesterday. There was a spillover of 39 of them, which were shifted today. And out of which 32 of them have just finished registering and then left for their various homes. Out of that 39, I think the rest, out of the 32 that were registered, the rest, according to the EC officials, were minors, and so they could not register. Them, and so technically they are done for the day here in the Akan constituency, KJB district, for that matter. Araba.
All right, many thanks, Peter Senu. There, he's our reporter in the Oti region. Now, Asawase MP Muntaka Mubarak says he will do all within his power to ensure the opposition NDC does not lose the parliamentary seat. The constituency is one of 3 seats the governing MPP is hoping to win in its stronghold of the Ashanti region. During the voter registration exercise, the Asokore Mampong MC Ali Duseidu, who will be contesting for the MPP, said Mr. Mubarak does not deserve to represent the constituency since development has been slow. Nana Aljima has been speaking to the constituents and filed this report.
The Asawase constituency, which has been a safe seat for the National Democratic Congress for many years, is among prioritized seats the New Patriotic Party aims to snatch this year. Regional NPP chairman Bernard Enchibo-Siaku believes the current voter register plays to the party's advantage.
2016.
In Asawase, we lost by 6,000 votes in 2016. With the latest register, the numbers in the polling stations the NDC won have reduced drastically by at least 17,000, and ours have appreciated. This is why I call the election an election of science and data. This situation is same in other constituencies we are seeking to win. Supporters of the NPP in Asawase got divided between Municipal Chief Executive Ali Duseidu and aspirant Manaf Ibrahim, who was denied the opportunity to contest in the NPP parliamentary primaries. But Ali Duseidu says the party is now united to annex the seats.
As I'm speaking with you, Asawase constituency is so much united, very strong as rock, and we are moving steadily in one voice. If you get the incumbent to ask what he's been able to do after 16 uninterrupted years of leadership, he zero and narrow it down to streets. And you can't limit development to tarring of roads. And even with that, if you come to this municipality and for that matter this constituency we are talking about, there are a lot of areas that have not been attended to at all.
A similar issue occurred in the camp of the NDC when Mubarak Masawood decided to contest the incumbent MP Muntaka Mubarak in the party's primaries. The MP is, however, positive of victory.
They thought that having gotten the opportunity to be the MC, he would have excelled for them to even begin to say, oh, maybe let's give him a try. But the constituency is very, very clear. I mean, you can see not much had been achieved as compared to the resources that came. You remember they said to whom much is given, much is expected. If you look at the amount of resources that have gone into the municipal and you look at the output, definitely you will know that he's not a performer.
The constituency dominated by Zongo communities is the heartbeat of the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region. But some of their members claim to have defected. Prince Akuta, who once contested an executive position in the NDC, is one of them.
I'm not here to brag, and everyone knows what I can do to the Zongo community. So as far as I defected to MPP now, inshallah, so these seats are going to be for the first time to MPP party.
At the center of the constituency's most populous town, Asanwase, is this street gathering of youth. A debate of projects executed by the NPP and NDC in the constituency is getting heated here. Zakaria, a staunch supporter of the NPP, explains he is gunning for the NPP's Ali Duseidu due to projects executed under his watch as municipal chief executive.
Over 50 projects, and majority of those projects are under education. Again, and the health, the Prakusu Health Center is there.
But supporters of the National Democratic Congress in the constituency tout the achievement of MP Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak.
We have about 11 electoral areas. When you go to all the electoral areas, you will see Muntaka's project. There's nowhere you go, you will not see Muntaka's project. It's clearly that Muntaka is our darling boy, and inshallah, we are going to support him to continue, because you cannot change Muntaka for Mr. Zero. Do you know our MC, Mr. Zero? His popular name in Ashanti region is Mr. Zero.
We are not going to substitute our digital clock. Nana, we are not going to substitute our digital clock for our old-fashioned analog one. No, we will never do that.
Supporters of both NPP and NDC believe they've done enough for the constituency to win the heart of the electorate this year.
I will have some questions to ask the MC Ali Duseidu. It is Ghana Secured Fund, a COVID fund that should stimulate the individual citizens in their endeavor. So we are asking a question of 166 billion Ghana cedis plus 20,000 Ghana cedis that was allotted to the office of the MCE. Up till now, we haven't seen reflections of those monies in our lives.
Those amount of monies came with plan, and those plans were followed by the assembly. The money doesn't come through the MCE. There are various sectional heads, the health, sanitation, coordinating directors who took charge and spent the money as the ministry directed that it should go. The member of parliament who was asking that question is in parliament. That report will be available to parliament. So if he has anything to say on that report, he should go to parliament.
For the first time in history of Aswan's constituency, we were able to adjudge the best municipality in the entire history of Ghana under the European District League table. As I'm speaking to again, only MC, you came here, you are spending almost 3.5 years, you took us to last.
I said I'm voting for Honorable Alidu Ace. As an MC, you know, sometimes they compare a sitting MP, 16 years, to a sitting MC, 3.5 years. They compare I don't understand.
So if they are bold enough, they should tell us what they have done for this current news dongo that we are standing here. They have done nothing for this news dongo. About MPP that, and now totally zongo have changed. In my house, for instance, I was having like almost 90 NDC people in my house. During this regime, I'm able to talk to them, convince them. Now all of them are changed their party color. They're now MPP.
Honorable Muntaka, the shaking NP, that
he's
shaking. As shaking MP in Aswasu constituency, there's any achievement that he has built for Aswasu constituency.
Ali Zeru, it's my incoming MP. Inshallah. I am the Alan Ismaila Idris.
But is it true that you named your son after Honorable Muntaka?
I don't want to hear that name. I don't want to hear
Muntaka.
Hey, me, I love Muntaka.
Why?
Because of Muntaka is Ejumawura.
Come on, Ejumawura, what has he done?
Watch this one. Abdul Samad.
After 16 years.
Go back. Mal Adam.
16 years.
One day there. Here, it be Muntaka.
After 16 years.
If you want count.
MPP is saying this road is not enough.
It's good. This road is good. First, the road not this one. But now, if we water come, the road is coming.
For JoyNews, Nana Ojima reporting.
So just gone by, head constituents of Asawase, and we stay on the ordinary voter, because today on Voters' Voice we take you to Ablekuma West constituency, precisely Dansuman last stop. Residents there are sharply divided over which candidate would win their votes in the upcoming polls. While some complain of harsh economic conditions, some also argue that they have benefited from free SHS policy. Here are some of their views.
I have 4 more for Nana. The entire I have 4 more for Nana. They say, me want fancy for me new. Say, I want free education. Me kurasi me free kurasi pa obiama achimota da. Nipa me nu abachimota. Eti ade enti na mentuma Nana. Na me empuntuo emama ye. Eti me die me say 4 more for Nana.
Yeah, call 4 more for Nana. Because almost say, almost catch and say, so mobile drivers, almost assemble cars for Ghana. Now I depend my work and pay. Private work companies, no more my prices no slow. It's a form of Nana. No more my cars no work and pay near to me.
I have 4 more for Nana. DKM Sika came the banks are collapse or NDC times as common to maintenance. See, I good cycles and I know 4 years old. As a Sassican will 2 go so to a into 4 no, even a bear more than 4. Nana Kwakwana, another person, Baba, I will try 8 years into 4 more there. I go. Nana Okwa Bisa before Asiaba. Master Jinaba Sisias DKM Sika went to mention since some years I want to see I am less than 3 years and I buy scan about training in a system. Master Jinaba say Tom Sika Mammy, it's 4 more there. Nanoko.
The Sia de Niamon Sampa and the 4 more for Nana de Sia Chomu. Sesi ya paunto ya sika bebre akeka bangi ni nyama ya close company nti ya form for Nana de last year for Nana ya be last year for Nana ya form for Nana biom ya last year for Nana esi ya ndi agro kla ya ni abre papa.
Yeah, we have no reason why to vote for Nana for 4 more, because one, sure no matter cause Ghana had in fact, as a matter of fact, we have no reason why to vote for Nana anymore. We are we are changing it. Last year for Nana, we have no option. That's all.
Telephone TV. I said, "I was this. Na mboyen. Na kwa say nsu to ya blen ya na mboyen. No nso yum. E boto ma na e boto ma ba e boto ma na MPP e boto ma no. Na tuma no wi a onya de bi me na nso bi hu say ya bo no nso mboyen. Tena be ka say me edwuma ma yesa bi mi da na medina. To mboyen.
All right, now as we approach the December polls, many musicians have composed songs for their preferred candidates. One of them is renowned gospel musician Nicholas Omane Achiampong, also known as Tabitha Kum, who has composed a song to appreciate President Akufo-Addo for implementing the free senior high school policy. He's questioning former President Mahama's decision to seek re-election, saying he failed to deliver on his mandate. And in his song, the Tabitha Kum, hitmaker, tells Ghanaians to vote for Nanado to secure the future of their children. There's more in this report. And now let's turn our attention on the Setre East DCE, who has been reinstated. Last Friday, we told you President Akufo-Addo sacked the district chief executive of the Setre East area. Well, she's been reinstated, and most of you are talking. So let's hear what you have to say about that. Isahaku Ben Hussein writes, please, someone should help me. Is it part of flip-flopping? Things are really not adding up, sir. That is why it is difficult to fight corruption under this government. Even if you are caught and taken to the president, all you need to do is to threaten the president and the MPP that you will make sure you reduce their votes and you are good to go unpunished. What a Takashi type of government. That's from Isaku Ben Hussein. Eric Mensah writes, listen to the kettle calling the pot black. He described JDM as indecisive, and yet in less than a day, he has revoked his own decision. Now, the presidency has declined the invitation of Imani to participate in a presidential debate with NDC flag bearer John Mahama. You've been sharing your thoughts on this particular issue with us, so let's hear what you have to say. Henry Nate says, as for the debate, it must come on. We must know the intellectual capabilities of our president to trust his ability to defend Ghana's interests in his intellectual engagement with China and the West. If they need our vote, they better debate. Oh. Nanose Kwabena writes, the president is not ready to waste his time on any debate organized by an opaque civil society organization. He will rather use that time to do more important things for the benefit of Ghanaians. It is simple, and if you don't understand, go and burn in the sea. Do keep your comments coming in. Finally, the Electoral Commission on Thursday reopened the voters' registration for eligible Ghanaians who were unable to register the last time it was opened. Now, this is what some Ghanaians had to say on this developing story. And Josiah Saki writes, the Electoral Commission of Ghana should be up and doing. We want peace. And for peace to prevail, we have to get a credible voters register to have a good election. We don't want any rigging, but we want free and fair elections. And that's how we wrap up this edition of Election Brief. Unfortunately, we are unable to bring you the full hour, but do stay on for the rest of our programs. I'm Barbara Kumson. Have a good one.